AI side hustles are often presented as if the hardest part is simply pressing a button. Build a boring website, upload a few digital products, create some AI videos, wait for the traffic, and eventually, passive income starts appearing. But there is one problem with most of these claims. They usually tell you what you might earn, but not how much you need to spend, how many hours you need to work, how much traffic you need, or how long it might take to break even. So I built an AI side hustle calculator to help answer those questions. In this video, I'll show you how it works, what numbers you need to enter, and how a small change in one assumption can completely change the result. Welcome back to WealthWeave AI, where we test the online income strategies people often describe as easy, passive, or automated. In my previous video, I examined the claim that you can create a simple, boring website and quickly start making money from it. I promised to create a tool that would help new creators look at the numbers for themselves. This is that tool. The calculator is not designed to tell you that you will definitely make a certain amount of money. Nobody can honestly guarantee that from a calculator. Instead, it helps you build a scenario. You enter your costs, your available time, your expected output, your traffic assumptions, and your conversion rate. Then the calculator shows what would need to happen for the idea to break even or become worthwhile. Let's have Mike from our team take you through how the calculator works. Take it away, Mike.
The calculator focuses on 4 questions. First, how much money will this strategy cost? Second, how much time will it require? Third, what level of traffic or sales will it need? And fourth, does the possible return justify the effort? At the moment, I'm using 3 basic strategy types: an AI-assisted YouTube channel, an AI digital download, and an AI-assisted website. The calculator can be expanded later, but I wanted to begin with the strategies that come up most often in passive income videos. Let's walk through an example. The first step is to select the strategy you want to examine. For this example, I'm going to choose an AI-assisted website. This does not mean that every website works in the same way. A display ad website, a lead generation website, an affiliate website, and a website selling products all have different economics. So treat this as a planning model, not a universal answer for every website. The point is to make the assumptions visible. Next, we enter the one-time setup costs. For example, domain registration, initial design, branding, research, and any paid setup tools. For this example, I'm entering $250 for the initial setup. The important thing is not whether the amount is large or small. The important thing is that it is included. A website that costs nothing to launch may still cost a lot in time. And a website that appears to cost only a few pounds or dollars may require months of unpaid content production before it attracts meaningful traffic. Now we add the monthly expenses. That might include an AI subscription, hosting, an email service, design software, analytics tools, or outsourced content. For this example, I'm entering $40 per month. If a tool has a free plan, enter 0. But remember that free does not mean unlimited. You may still have limits on the number of generations, storage, commercial usage, export quality, automation, or the amount of content you can create. This is probably the most important section of the calculator. Enter how many hours you expect to spend each week. For this example, I'm entering 7 hours per week. Then I estimate the time required to create each output. For a website, that might include research, writing, editing, publishing, technical maintenance, internal linking, and updating old content. This is where the word passive often becomes misleading. Once a website is established, some tasks may become easier or less frequent, but the setup period is usually not passive. If you spend 5 hours per week for 6 months, that is approximately 130 hours. The calculator converts that time into an estimated labor value using the hourly value you enter. Passive later does not mean effortless at the beginning. You can leave the hourly value at 0 if you only want to calculate cash expenses. But I recommend entering a value. Your time is still a cost, even if nobody sends you an invoice. The exact net after-time cost figures are: conservative, negative $325.50 per month. Realistic, test $1,081.50 per month. Strong result, $45,558.88 per month. That these are illustrative scenario outputs, not forecasts or guarantees. This is why the calculator does not show only one result. It gives us 3 scenarios: conservative, realistic test, and strong result. The conservative scenario assumes 5,000 monthly visitors, $2 in revenue per 1,000 views, a 0.5% conversion rate, a $15 value per conversion, $40 in monthly cash costs, and 10 hours of monthly production time. The realistic test scenario assumes 10,000 monthly visitors, $5 in revenue per 1,000 views, a 1% conversion rate, a $25 value per conversion, $40 in monthly cash costs, and 20 hours of monthly production time. The strong result scenario assumes 50,000 monthly visitors, $8 in revenue per 1,000 views, a 2.5% conversion rate, a $40 value per conversion, $60 in monthly cash costs, and 35 hours of monthly production time. The conservative scenario produces negative $325.50 per month after cash costs and the value of time are included. The realistic test scenario produces $1,081.50 per month after cash costs and the value of time. The strong result scenario produces $45,558.88 per month after cash costs and the value of time. The strong result number may look extremely attractive, but you should not plan your life around the strongest scenario. It depends on much higher traffic, a stronger conversion rate, a higher value per conversion, and substantially more production. Use it as an upside case, not as the expected outcome. Plan around the realistic case. Hope for the strong case. Survive the conservative case. Now let's look at break-even.
The calculator adds together one-time costs, monthly cash costs, and the value of your time. Then it compares that total with the estimated revenue. For the AI website example on the Calculator tab, cash break-even is approximately 0.1 months, and break-even including the value of time is approximately 0.2 months. The Scenarios tab shows the monthly scenario results after time cost, which are the figures we just reviewed. That is a very different conclusion from simply saying, this website could make $2,550 per month. The better question is, how long would it take to recover the money and time required to create it? If the lines never cross, that does not automatically prove the strategy is impossible. It means the current assumptions do not produce an attractive result. You might need more traffic, a better offer, a higher price, a lower operating cost, better conversion, or a different strategy altogether. Let's switch to an AI-assisted YouTube channel. For YouTube, the calculator uses different inputs: videos per month, hours per video, average views per video, estimated revenue per 1,000 views, subscriber conversion, and monthly operating costs. For this example, I'm entering 8 videos per month, 4.5 hours per video, 2,000 average views per video, $4 in estimated revenue per 1,000 views, a 1% subscriber conversion rate, and $40 in monthly operating costs. The calculator estimates the result based on those assumptions. But notice something important. If the channel depends mostly on shorts, the number of views required to produce meaningful income may be very different from a long-form channel. And if the strategy relies on affiliate income or product sales, then views alone are not enough. The audience also needs to be interested in the offer. Views are attention. Revenue requires a business model. Now, let's test a digital download. For this example, I'm entering a product price of $25, a platform fee of 5%, a production time of 2 hours, and an estimated monthly visitor count of 1,000. The calculator shows how many sales are needed to break even. This is useful because the phrase, "create a digital product," hides the most important step. Creating the product is only half the process. You also need traffic, trust, a clear problem, a useful solution, and a reason for somebody to buy your version. My favorite feature is the sensitivity test. Instead of asking whether a side hustle works in general, we can ask, what happens if one assumption changes? Let's reduce the traffic by half. The estimated monthly net cash revenue changes from $2,425 to $1,275. Now, let's double the monthly tool cost. The cash break-even date moves from approximately 0.1 months to approximately 0.2 months. Now, let's increase the conversion rate slightly. The estimated revenue improves to approximately $2,750. This shows why online income screenshots can be misleading.
Two people can use the same strategy and get completely different results because their assumptions are different. There are also things this calculator cannot predict. It cannot know whether your content will be recommended, whether your website will rank, whether viewers will trust your avatar, whether the platform will change its rules, whether competitors will enter the niche, whether your product will be genuinely useful, or whether you will continue long enough to get meaningful data. So, do not use this tool to create a fantasy forecast. Use it to expose the assumptions. If the strategy only works when traffic is extremely high, conversion is unusually strong, costs are ignored, and your time is treated as free, then you need to know that before you begin. Based on the example we just tested, my conclusion is that the strategy may be worth testing, but it is not instant passive income. The strategy may be worth testing if you can keep the initial cost low, you are willing to produce consistently, you have a realistic way to attract traffic, and you can measure whether people actually respond. At best, it is a process of building an asset over time. And at worst, it is an attractive idea that depends on assumptions the original tutorial never showed you.
I've made the AI side hustle calculator available here. Start with conservative assumptions. Enter the costs honestly. Include your time. Then change one assumption at a time and see what happens. If you use the calculator, let me know which strategy you tested and which result surprised you most. I'm also planning to add more models. Most passive income advice starts with the money somebody hopes to make. A better place to start is the work, cost, traffic, and time required to get there. That is what WealthWeave AI is here to test. I'll show you the strategy and the numbers behind it.
Welcome to WealthWeave AI. Hit subscribe for weekly income strategies.